Dzień dobry, assalamu alaikum, ciao, konnichiwa, bonjour, hola, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Ken at 10 once more with you from Norbury, SW16, and welcome. Thanks a lot for joining us, and do comment, share, and like my videos, please, just to know you're there, because sometimes you feel like you're just staring into a lens until you look back, of course, and people then interact with you. So please do get involved, as they say. Welcome. This is Ken at 10. We are James Alexander Estate Agents. We're based in Norbury, which is in southwest London, southwest 16, which is situated to the south of Streatham and the north of Croydon. We talk about property all day, every day, really. It's our thing. It's what we love. It's what we do. Quote of the week for you today as well. Meant to put it out yesterday and forgot about it. Sorry about that. But we'll certainly be giving you a quote of the week today, which we love and hope you do too. Do love a motivational quote, don't you? So many good ones out there. A few things for you. One, the Daily Telegraph. They have some good property stuff in the Telegraph, a good property section there. The number of home movers hit a record high in the first half of 2021, with the number of people moving more than doubling in 6 months to June. It's hardly surprising, though, is it, given that we had the stamp duty deadline. David Fell of Hamptons noted the ability to save during lockdown played a significant role in boosting sales. I think that's true. I've said for a while that the boom wasn't created by the stamp duty deadline. It was enhanced by it, but it wasn't created by that. And I'd evidenced that by saying, look at America. Prices there went up 20% over the pandemic. Why? Change of lifestyle, middle class is earning more money, the Zoom nation, people being able to choose where they live for the first time in a different way. So lots of different reasons, but certainly the boom wasn't because of the stamp duty deadline, but it certainly did increase the level of activity. And it brought forward a lot of sales as well. So a lot of people that were thinking of moving second half of this year just took the advantage of that stamp duty deadline, as you would, to save a bit of money. Rise in private home sales in London. Data from Hampton shows 20% of homes have been sold off market, and that figure increases to 25% for homes priced at 1 million or more. Now, this is when they say off market, just to clarify, there are a lot of sales that go on where we don't want to leave a digital footprint. So, for instance, some of our clients will say, look, Ken, I want to sell. Do you have some people, and can we do it in a discreet way so that there's no digital footprint? So if we do sell at a later stage, it doesn't work out this time, nobody actually knows what we've done or that we've tried. And it's quite a good way of testing the market if you want to move, but you're not quite sure whether you can hit the price point that suits you. And it's certainly something that we use extensively. And it's quite easy to do. And it's quite a refreshing way of doing it. You know, it's a bit secret squirrel, and buyers love it too, because there's an exclusivity attached to the viewing where not everybody's seeing this one, you know. So worth having a look at that. And then we have equity release expected to hit an all-time high this year. And this is on course for a record year after customers took out just over £1 billion in property wealth in the 3 months to end of September. The total value rose by 18.8% in the third quarter of 2020. Though the number of equity release plans taken fell, then year on year they fell to 10,300 and remain below pre-pandemic levels. Key believes the market is on course to hit 4 billion by the year end. That's a huge amount, isn't it? Will Hale, the Key's chief executive and their equity release specialist, said the significant uptick in lending was driven in part by increasing numbers of older homeowners refinancing from an ordinary mortgage to a lifetime mortgage. Well, it's interesting because there's also another article here which says that only 20%, this is in the Mail, only 20% of people want to downsize when they retire, according to research by Hargreaves Lansdowne. Among those aged 45 to 54, just 17% said they'd moved to a smaller home. And this fell to 14% among 55 to 64-year-olds. Around 1 in 10 didn't believe they'd make enough money from downsizing, while almost a quarter said it would be too expensive. That's interesting, is it? Said it would be too expensive. We've said for a while now that if you want older people to move, you need to incentivize that. You need to make it so that they're not paying stamp duty. And that way, they're more likely to make the move, because by the time they take out the costs, quite often they're thinking, well, what's the point in the move then? I'm happy where I am. I could free up space and let a younger family move in, but does it work for me financially? And if it doesn't, I'm not going to do it. The most cited reason why respondents didn't want to live somewhere smaller was they were too attached to their home. You do fall in love with your home because you make it what you want, don't you, over the years? If I had £1 for every time someone said to me, Ken, if I could take this home, pick it up, move it to where I want to be, I'd stay in it. I'd be a very rich man. That conversation happens literally daily, because these days we make homes what we want them, don't we? You can adapt homes so well these days. A good article again in the Telegraph. First-time buyers hit with reduced rates by banks. This is very good news if you're a first-time buyer. We've been for a while. We think that this should be a thing. And banks are now offering younger borrowers cheaper mortgages while raising rates for other borrowers. This is interesting because it's always been the other way around, and there's been this bias towards older borrowers with large deposits. So this is very good news in my view. Brokers are saying lenders have become less cautious about taking on these borrowers. Aaron Strutt of mortgage broker Trinity Financial said the market tends to slow down the closer we get to Christmas, and lenders want to keep it moving, especially for first-time buyers who are the lifeblood of the market. They really are, people do miss this. If first-time buyers don't buy that small flat seller cannot move to the house. So they really are critical to the whole moving process in the UK. The average 2-year rate for borrowers with a 5% deposit has fallen by 0.08 percentage points since the start of the month, according to Moneyfacts, while the average 10% deposit mortgage fixed for 2 years is 0.06% points lower. And well, that's really interesting in the face of likely higher rates, because we've just heard that inflation has gone through the roof again today. That's been announced. So it's possible that the first interest rate rise will come in December now. And we were hoping it'd be pushed on until next year, so we wouldn't have that as a Christmas present. But just to get that into perspective, we expect over the course of next year, they might rise in the entire year by 1% or less. This is not financial advice, but that's our anticipated rise. If you think about that in terms of the impact on your mortgage, I'm sure you'll find that it's more slight than you expect. And I would expect that the percentage rises that we're talking about will probably go up in small chunks of 250 or 0.25, a quarter of 1%. So hopefully they shouldn't impact on you too heavily, but it's certainly worth looking at. This is an interesting one as well from The Guardian. They're saying scrap VAT on fire safety repairs. That's a really good idea, isn't it? These people that are stuck with these fire safety repairs shouldn't then have to pay VAT on these. After all, they are the government's doing. If it wasn't for their building regs and standards, these people wouldn't be in this situation. So I think it's a very reasonable request. Michael Gove said the long-awaited bill would pass through Parliament before Christmas, and hopefully that will help. But now a cross-party alliance is expected to press for the 0 rating on fire safety repairs, including recouping tax paid on works already carried out. I think that's really sensible and should definitely go ahead. Hmrc is set to pull in an extra £1 billion in inheritance tax as partly the result of the property boom, of course. And interesting to see that, but not entirely surprising the way the market's been. We're looking at market predictions as well shortly. I'm just in the process at the moment of doing a blog on that. And thank you for all of you that have looked at our podcast. We've just hit 500 downloads, so thanks ever so much if you downloaded that. Really interesting one from Bob Harris. He's an environmentalist and eco home builder, and it's really interesting to hear his thoughts, and they're not what you think. So do look for Ken Hume's Property Podcast on your provider. I think you might find an interesting story there. Don't forget, it's also, this sounds strange, I know, but it is anti-bullying week this week, and I think it's such an important message. Odd Socks Day was yesterday, and it was all about really the point that you can be a bit odd, a bit strange, and one kind word can make the difference in a week to somebody. We must support the weak amongst us, and we must educate our children not to be bullies. And so often they are, unbeknownst to us. So I think it's a great message. And if we can get out there and support those and have some really strong anti-bullying campaigns, that has to be a fantastic thing. Now, on to the quote of the week. Love this one. If you look at what you have in life, you'll always have more. If you look at what you don't have in life, you'll never have enough. That's from Oprah Winfrey. There's an old saying, there's always enough for the needy, but there's never enough for the greedy. And that pretty much says the same thing, doesn't it? That's our quote of the week for the week. As far as the weather's concerned, it's bright and sunny here in Norbury. Why have you got the snow behind you, I hear you ask? The answer is that we've got some forecasts in the papers saying we're heading for snow. But looking at the BBC forecasts, they suggest nothing of the sort. So we are 38 days from Christmas now. That's right, 38 days till Christmas. Is crazy, isn't it? And no snow in sight, we don't think, although they're telling us there might be. We'll see. But as far as Norbury's concerned, a bright sunny day today, just about to go out on a lovely valuation. Looking forward to that. Hope you have a fantastic day. Hope you've enjoyed the show today. And you'll be back with us tomorrow for another edition. Until then, stay safe, look after your family and friends. Have a fantastic day.